I have seen a lot of candidates, aspirants who do not really know how to approach uh, alumni or current MBA
Mhm.
students and how to
Yeah,
ask for this help.
yeah, yeah,
So probably this will also make
yeah,
your
yeah.
life
No,
easier. How should somebody approach an alumni to
this is a
ask for
very,
help?
very good question, Piyush. This is a very good question. I'm glad you brought it up because again, it goes back to the fact that how things work in India is very different from how things
Yeah,
work in the US. And to be honest, I was struggling with this. Like I struggled with this initially. What happens is people take it for granted that if I'm applying to Fuqua and I reach out to a Fuquan, like he's obliged to reply and tell me whatever he can without like I will be sitting. I'll get on the call and tell him that hey, I want to know about Fuqua now. Tell me everything. Right? That's the mindset, which is fine because we are not trained to do it
yeah,
the right way. Yeah. So I think the best approach is first of all the first and foremost most important thing is do the basic research, right? Know everything that can be known through a Google search or Fuqua's website, right? What are the placement stats? What is like on a higher level, the classes, the culture, etc., etc. That's part one. Second, reach out to folks on LinkedIn or whichever way you wanna reach out to. That messaging is very important. You cannot just say that, hey, I was thinking to applying to Fuqua and would like to know your thoughts. I mean, yeah, that's what everyone wants to do, but there's a way to say it. So it's more like, hey, like, I'm so and so. Like sometimes I get messages that are like a page long, right? It's like their entire essay, and I don't read past two lines.
yeah,
Sometimes they're just pings that, hey, you went to Fuqua, I want to come to Fuqua, can you talk? And I'm like, uh, so the right way to do it is like a very short, neat, nice note that hey, you know what? I'm so and so. I saw you went to Fuqua. I'm really excited about Fuqua. I think I could be a really good fit for Fuqua because of ABC. But I would like to know more about what your experience was. Right? Making it about the other person's experience, not about yourself.
yeah,
Right? Send that note. See who replies. Once you get on a call, obviously do your homework first. Like don't ask that what were the placement stats, right? You can literally look at the website, or don't ask what's the average uh, work experience. Like do your basic research for where few were situated. Don't ask that. I've been asked that question. So, so so when you get on a call, make it about the other person's experience. Ask about their experience, right? And be very structured with your questions
yeah,
because the people who are at Fuqua or like even have graduated at this point, they would be having a crazy life, right? Like you would know, Piyush, like we learned to live on calendar,
yeah.
right? Like there was no calendar, like you wouldn't survive,
No,
right? So
absolutely. I think that was the first thing that I learned once I went for my masters in Switzerland. I think that
yeah,
was the first thing I learned. Acha, I cannot live without my calendar anymore.
yeah,
Like,
it's
everything
just
needs
not
to be on
possible.
the calendar. Yeah,
Like there's so many things happening that you just cannot keep track of everything.
yeah.
And it's so funny, like when I started Fugo, I was like, oh, I don't need a calendar, I'll just use
I
my
remember
notebook and
everything.
put down everything. And then I made like a couple of blunders. I missed classes, I missed events, and I'm like, dude, like this is not working. So I had to like do the
Yeah,
most respected way, use a calendar. But anyway, we digressed. The point is, people are really busy. They are not obliged to answer your questions or like talk to you, but they are doing it because they feel for you because they have been through the process,
yeah,
right? And they want to pay it forward. So be respectful of that,
exactly.
right? When you reach out and you schedule a time, like ask for like, hey, like when will you be available, or like what's your availability like in the next couple of weeks, right? And then once you align on a time, follow up with a calendar invite to make that person's life easier, right? Now, when you get on a call, do your basic home research. Make a list of questions that you want to ask. It's not that difficult.
No, exactly.
Like the very basic questions that you want to know: that how was your experience? How did you approach application? How's the culture at Fuqua? Like talk about this club, that club. What I have seen from personal experience, a lot of times people are not prepared with questions. They're like, just tell me about Fuqua. They think that I know what they want to know and they want me to speak. That's not how it works. Like, see, to some extent, I know what they want to know, but then every person is different, right? I don't know which part of journey they are in, right? Are they just talking to me to tick a box that I spoke to someone at Fuqua, or are they really trying to get to know me, right?
Yeah.
So all those things are important. And it shows the way you talk, it shows, and it changes my answer. If I see you're not prepared, my answers, like I'll probably not be invested that much in giving you like the right answer. Probably my mind will be somewhere else. Versus I've spoken to people who have been very well prepared. I've been super impressed by them, and I've gone to an extent that, hey, if you need a referral, let me know. It will save $250 for you, right? So you need to be prepared. You need to be structured. Go one question by one question. Don't say that, hey, I wanted to ask you these 5 questions, and say all the 5 questions up front, and I'm like, okay, where do I start? Right? Start with 1 question, 2 questions, 3 questions, 3. Okay, now question 4, and also have a pitch prepared, right, about yourself, which and make it 2 minute, please. Like, don't have a 30-minute pitch, or don't have a 30-second pitch, right? There are people I ask, and it's important for the person who's answering your questions, right? Like, if someone reaches out to me and I'm answering his questions, I need to understand what his background is so that I can have more targeted answers, right? If a person who has done commerce and works for, say, I don't know, McKinsey reaches out as an analyst, versus a person who's a mechanical engineer who has worked with Bharat Petroleum reaches out, my answers will be slightly different in terms of how I advise them how to approach the process, right? So it's important for me to know. I've seen stories where people just start talking about their work. So I work at XYZ company, I've done this and that and this project and details of project and all that stuff. I don't need to know that. I just need an overall view of your entire journey, right? Where did you do what? Like, where did you grow up? Where did you do your undergrad? Right? Why did you choose the company that you chose? And why are you trying to do an MBA? That's it. That's all I want to know. So make it 2 minutes. And then, as I said, just go step by step, one question after another. And it's easy. It's not that difficult. If you would know, and I'm sure you would help others to know that.
I think that's one part where we really advise our candidates, how they should prepare and how they should actually go ahead and talk to alumni, and how should they actually approach alumni and admission committee members, and what sort of questions should they be asking, what sort of homework should they be doing beforehand. So, all these points are very relevant, and I think what I'm going to do after the interview is over is we are going to create a separate video of just this particular section and post it separately. I think this is going to make your life much easier, Aditya.
For sure.